Guys, I actually read a comment. In fact, not one, but many comments. I think it's about 2 weeks ago. I was looking at some reviews of pickup trucks in America, reading articles on vehicles that you guys are buying in America. And I remember seeing in the comment section all these people saying, oh, people are so retarded in America. They're buying F-150s and Chevrolet Silverados instead of Toyota Tundras. And the Tundra is a way better vehicle. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota marketing is doing its job in spite of the reality, which actually Toyota Tundras are not really a very reliable vehicle. If you don't believe me, well, you need to hear this story. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to see you. Toyota are going to replace every single engine in 100,000 Tundra pickups and Lexus SUVs. Now, my recommendation is you don't even need a car with an engine or a truck with an engine. But if you absolutely have to have one, I guess in a pickup truck, it's fair enough. In this case of a pickup truck, a plug-in hybrid or fully electric truck, in my opinion, is a much better solution than a Toyota or Ford or GM or Ram or any other just purely internal combustion truck. Now, speaking of Toyota engine problems, there was a class action lawsuit here in Australia, a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against Toyota, saying that their diesel engines had multitudes of problems in them. Toyota lost that case and were forced to actually give compensation to literally hundreds of thousands of customers here in Australia. Now, we're a pretty small country. There's only 25 million people here, less than what you guys have in California. But that shows you the enormous extension or the enormous impact of this massive, massive problem that Toyota has been having with its diesel engines. Now, in America, there are safety recalls that some of them can be pretty big, time consuming, they can be expensive, but Toyota is just going to have to put up with a massive recall here, right? Apparently there's been a defect discovered in the twin turbocharged V6 truck that powers the Tundra pickup as well as the Lexus LX luxury SUVs. So this affects vehicles made from 2021 to 2023. It's a lot of different vehicles. In fact, it's more than 100,000. There's a possibility that certain machining debris may not have cleared from the engine when it was produced in the involved vehicles. This can lead to potential engine knocking, engine rough running, engine no start, or loss of motive power. Lots of different problems there. A loss of motive power while driving at higher speeds can increase the risk of a crash. So the reason this is happening is because the NHTSA is forcing Toyota to do this recall, saying that defects in its engines have caused crashes. Yeah, apparently Toyota reliability, it's amazing. I mean, I see these comments all the time. Got to point out, guys, once again, if you don't know this, my first car that I ever owned was a Toyota, and actually the engine blew 3 times. I ended up having to get a brand new engine. When Toyota submitted documentation of the issue to NHTSA, in May 2024, it noted that a fix for the 103,000 affected vehicles was still being determined. At the time, Toyota estimated that 1% of those vehicles might suffer the defect. But 1% apparently. They said, we're unable to estimate the percentage of the involved vehicles to actually contain the defect described in Section 5. However, as the NHTSA manufacturer portal requires an integer value be entered, Toyota entered the value 1 in response to this question. For the purpose of this report, 1 means unknown. In other words, Toyota is full of shit, completely talking out their buttholes. They're saying less than 1% are affected. Then they're saying the amount that are affected are unknown. Which is it? Less than 1% or unknown? That's 2 entirely different things. Unknown could mean every single one of these 103,000. It could mean none of them. Less than 1% means, well, less than 1%. Those are 2 different things. Toyota is making things up as they go along, very clearly. 2 months later, though, Toyota seemed to, have no estimate, once again, of how many of these Lexus and Toyota vehicles had the engine problems. So apparently Toyota has been asked numerous times how many of them, and Toyota doesn't know. So they've been having to recall all of them. Toyota notes that their remedy apparently will only fix non-hybrid versions of these engines. The hybrid versions apparently can still provide power in the event of an engine failure because of their electric motors. Yeah, sounds great. Apparently, this issue has been investigated now for nearly 2.5 years. So they've known about this for nearly 2.5 years and continued to sell them. If Toyota was investigating this back in March of 2022, why the freaking hell did they continue to sell these engines in these vehicles until the middle of 2023? They waited a year and a half. That is mental. Now, the reason Toyota even found out about this is because customers were complaining about engine failures. Apparently, main bearings seizing in Toyota engines. More similar reports began flowing in, and Toyota kept working to determine the cause into 2023. But yet more reports of damaged engines eventually determined that the Toyota eventually figured out that the debris in the engines was the cause. They initiated a recall campaign following a total of 166 Toyota field technical reports highlighting the issue and 624 warranty claims on engines. 624 warranty claims. Sorry guys, I'm wrong. 824. 824 warranty claims on basically brand new cars. That sucks, right? Having to say, Toyota, your engine broke. What's Toyota going to say to you? Toyota initially, what car companies do initially when you call them and say my engine's busted, they try to blame you. This is what they always do. They all do this. It wasn't our fault. You must have been redlining it. You must have been drag racing. You must have been taking it to the track. You mustn't have put enough oil in the engine. They always blame you. That's a lot of stress, right? For consumers, it would be. Yanking the engines from over 100,000 vehicles, 103,000, is going to be massive. This expense for Toyota will be insane. I mean, 103,000 vehicles have to have their entire engine replaced. Now, this is estimated, by my estimates, if it only costs Toyota, say $6,000 to complete each engine swap over, so remove the old engine, put a new engine in, only $6,000. I think it'll cost them more than that, but if that's all it costs them, it's going to cost them $620 million. Thanks for watching.